This is Indiana Hoosiers Live 75, presented by FanDuel. We had a huge day, a huge week in the Indiana Hoosier football universe. And so obviously, naturally, we went and got Hoosier Huddle, IU Reactionaries, Jamie Jordan, got him to join the show. So Jamie, appreciate you for hopping on with us tonight. How you doing?
Great. Super excited to be here. Obviously, a lot of stuff to talk about. Pro Day, basically guys putting up insane numbers. I know they're unofficials, but we'll talk about them. But, just fun day to be an Indiana football fan. Something that I never thought I would ever see. I mean, NFL Network carrying the IU football Pro Day. I mean, come on. Insane.
Were they the only
I didn't see anything else like that.
Exclusive coverage by the NFL Network. Honestly, it doesn't even matter. Like, it's sick that Indiana's just in that spot, and they probably will be for the foreseeable future. Just a great kind of thing.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Going to be a thing. Like, it's almost like, hey, it's telling the next team, like, hey, you put in the work like these guys did, these group of 23, their preparation, their discipline, and you do that, you'll have 32 teams at your pro day, and it'll be on NFL Network. So that's your reward, at the end of it all for all the hard work. And I think that is, as a college athlete, where it's like you're bringing all these guys that understand that's like just because you're a 4-star doesn't mean you're going to the league. Like, guys understand that, and then that they're going to go in and work hard. And I'm just excited for the group that they're able to see that. A lot of new guys, new faces like a Hoover or a Marsh or a Toby. The Mr. Freeze, Josh Burnham, they can all see that and kind of see that, hey, it all kind of pays off. So just keep at it.
Yeah, that was literally the first thing I wanted to hit on, is that, like, this wasn't just like, oh, here's Indiana's pro day and, like, we're going to go. And it would have been exciting regardless of what the coverage of it looked like. But the fact that it was the biggest deal out of any pro day that happens, like, mostly because of the fact that Fernando Mendoza, the dogs freak out because they know I'm making a good point. Fernando Mendoza, who sits on FanDuel, still is minus 20,000 to be the number one overall pick. There was a lot of coverage on him today, but yeah, this was the crown jewel of the pro day season. This is what people were looking forward to. And so to have that be Indiana was unbelievably exciting.
I mean, so you're telling me it's not going to be the other number one quarterback? I was told by very smart individuals on ESPN that someone else was going to be the number one pick, or was the better quarterback. It's too stupid. I honestly
love you, Dano. I know you're in the pockets of your agent. It's okay. I would take the bonus too. You gotta send the little Timmy to college. I get it. But yeah, it's a spectacle. It was the biggest event. I mean, I got 13 projected draft picks from the squad. Obviously, Daly didn't perform today. He's one of those. But like a lot of guys that I was expecting to kind of rise up showed out with really good numbers. Devon Boykin really stands up. We can dive more into it. Keys to drive the bus.
Oh, 100%. And that was the other thing, is like, it wasn't just that, like, obviously it was Fernando Mendoza's show. Can you guys hear the dogs, or is that just me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is the worst it's ever been.
Okay, so here, I'm going to write off the dome takeaways. Brad, you first. What was your initial takeaway from?
Initial takeaways, I think, was just seeing the 40 times. I think what's really stuck out was EJ running a 4.4. I think he just earned himself a 90-man invite. Worst case, might even sneak up and get in that top 57, whatever it is. You got Devon Boykin running a sub 4.5. That was huge for him. Oh no, sub 4.4 for Devon Boykin. That was huge. Both running backs running sub 4.5s. You had Pons going sub 4.3. Allegedly, we'll see. Honestly, we'll take 4.31. That looks really good. Just seeing how he moves and how he plays like that. I think that's all they need to see. And then what was Sirach's?
Sorry, I should have been more specific. Off the dome takeaway. One takeaway. Because I'm going to get into specifics.
We produce freaks. Our weight, our strength and conditioning staff is legit. The numbers that came out were insane. It was not all X's and O's with this team. Like, they had dudes, and that was something that we were trying to preach at the beginning of the year, and it really showed out today in Pro Day.
Yeah, I mean, I think he hit like almost exactly what I was going to say, in that one of the misconceptions, in my opinion, about IU has always been that it was like scheme. It was all just scheme, and it's like, No.
discipline and
This team has legit athletes. I mean, you have, again, one of my favorite guys that I was so happy when you got him to begin with was EJ Williams. I mean, that's a dude. I mean, if the numbers that his agent was putting out there are real, I mean, he ran a 4.42 unofficial 40. I mean, he's almost 6'4". So,
ridiculous.
That guy didn't even, he was like a rotational player.
He was wide receiver 4 down the stretch.
It's like that. You have that type of athlete, and he's wide receiver 4 on this team. And that was essentially my takeaway, is that it's just like, I cannot believe that a team that I watched put 0 players into the combine over and over and over again is now the premier school that is getting a showcase on the NFL Network. So that's my takeaway.
Yeah, 100%. I think the EJ Williams RAS score, which I think what Jamie was talking about as I ran back to the chairs, was exactly like my initial takeaway was like, we were saying obviously all along for pretty much the entire year that this was a team full of dudes and it was schemed up really well. And so the fact that all those guys who weren't able to get combine invites or didn't test at the combine were able to put legitimate numbers out there and look as impressive as they did was unbelievably exciting. Not only to tout the strength and conditioning staff, but to tout the individual athletes and the players and the development of those guys as well. It was really, really cool to see. But Brad, you tried to get into it before I could even get there, but let's talk about the 40 times, because the 40 times were exactly what we were looking for. We'll start with Pons. Jamie, I want to go with you because Brad, you teased it a little bit, but we saw Pons run. There's been a bunch of different numbers flying around. The quote unquote slowest number, the unofficial number that got tossed out there, was 4.31. I've seen ranges from 4.23 to 4.27 to point is he's fast. What was your takeaway when you saw the D'Angelo Pons numbers start flying out?
Yeah, I mean, I never doubt. I thought he should have always been. If you just watch the games, like obviously we watch all of the games, but if you just watch the games and then rewatch the games as much as we do, like there was no doubt the stuff that he was doing to elite wide receivers. He's even without the 40 time, he is a top. He's a top 3 round pick, and I think today he solidified himself as a 2nd round pick. And like, if my Patriots had a chance to get him late in the draft, late in the 1st round, like, I mean, not that they need another slot corner or whatever because they have Gonzalez and Davis, but like the point is like that guy, he's an absolute athlete. He showed the explosion with the vertical at the combine. And I just think that this is just like one more notch in his belt to be like, he is short, but he's an elite athlete, and he's a really, really good cover corner, and he plays angles really well. And like, that's kind of what, yes, all corners get beat sometimes, but like, this is a guy that is one of those, is a guy that, should be looked at as one of the top, if not the top corner in the draft, regardless of the fact that he's 5'9". And I'm just very proud that he, was able to run that, whatever the actual number is. He's essentially like one of the top guys. If he ran at the combine, would have been one of the top guys. So, excited to see where he goes in the draft, which is coming up. What is it? It's in 3 weeks or something like that. I think
23rd starts the same. 23rd. It's the same date as the spring game.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, perfect. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I just very excited for him, and I think he solidified himself, if not top 3 rounds, like hopefully in the 2nd, and if not the 1st. So.
Yeah, I have a 1st round grade on Pons, mostly due to the fact that he's the best player that I use pumping out right now. Like, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. You watch like Jamie said, you watch the games. Yeah, he's short, but like so are a lot of successful corners in the league right now. Height is kind of an overrated. Like I've even had to kind of adjust my own thinking of that. Like if I was a coach, like I would love 2 6'2" corners and just like be long and be able to compete. But like you get a special type of athlete like Pons, who just has the instincts, the twitch, the anticipation, which is such an underrated trait in sports. He is going to be an absolute. I knew he was going to be going into this a longtime NFL player. I think he's an absolute star, and I don't know how he doesn't go consensus first round. Like at this point, like it's. I feel like they'd be whoever gets them. If someone gets them past pick 25, they're getting an absolute steal. Period. Like that is someone that I think teams are going to regret passing on once his career kind of develops. Like he's just an absolute special talent. And like it's not
and Brad, yeah. I got to cut you off because like I think one of the things is like that you're talking about, and I agree, is that what we've seen is in the NFL specifically is like you don't need to be Megatron anymore. Like that's not the guy that everyone's looking for anymore. Like you're looking for the twitchy guy that gets a little bit of separation at 6'1" or 6 foot or even smaller than that. So you don't need a 6'1" corner. Like it's not totally necessary to have that size anymore that it used to be. Cause then, back in the day, I mean, you were throwing a Megatron, he was unguardable unless you had a 6'2" corner. So I totally agree with that. And I think that size again is overrated, at least height in terms of corners, especially when you can jump 42 inches in the air, kind of 4 foot.
That's the thing is his athletic ability, his jump ability, his like technique and his football IQ and all of that allow him to play a lot bigger. And then you look at his speed and he's just able to react a lot faster than people want to give him credit for. And yeah, I'm with Brad. I think it would be absolutely insane if he fell out of the back end of the first round, because if your biggest concern about D'Angelo Pons was his size being borderline 5'9", well, he weighed in at 180 pounds. So the weight's not an issue. He jumped out of the gym and he's faster than the guy he's covering. So it's like, he's going to be able to jump higher than the guy he's covering, and he runs faster than the guy he's covering, and he's going to be twitchy. You know what I mean? It's like what are you looking for? Are you looking to win the off the bus game, or are you looking to win football games? And if you're looking to win football games, like you're going to want to invest in D'Angelo Pons. And this was like to have any of the unofficial times be hand timed in the 4.2s is utterly insane. Utterly insane. Whether you want to say like that's taking liberties or not, like the slowest time we saw come out was 4.31, which is unbelievably.
Yeah. Jamie got my gears turning big time with one of his comments. Like the game has shifted, especially at the NFL level, and even the college level. Like the game on the outside is completely different from what it was. Like back in the day, had your Megatrons, your 6'5" guys, where you just be able to throw back shoulders and jump balls to these guys, and they'd be able to dominate. And that's kind of how you move the chains. Now it's all about, do you have receivers that can run the full route tree? Can they run, like you think Puka, you think JSN, like these guys? I'm not saying Puka's like an absolute burner. I think he ran like a 4.45, but like he runs the full route tree. Yeah, he's big, strong, and fast, but it's like he's not Megatron, Like AJ Brown's probably the closest thing you got in the league right now to some like old school, just like Terrell Owens, like I'm just a better athlete than you. And yeah, and there's DK too. But those, the reason why they're good is that they also run the full route tree. Like they can do it all. They can, and it's all that, with all these LaFleurs and Ben Johnsons and McVays, like that's kind of how the game has really shifted to where you need your receivers to be able to do everything. So now you need a corner that can also do everything, cover you inside, cover you outside. That's what Pons brings to the game. And that's why it'd be foolish if he fell out of the first round.
He's a do-it-all guy, and he can play inside, he can play outside, and
I think that's actually like a huge, like to me that's a selling point, is that like he's not just an inside, he's not just a slot guy, like he's not just a slot corner, like he can play a both, and he showed that he can do both, and he can go, it doesn't matter which side of the field he's on, and or where, if he's in the slot or on the outside, he can still, he can go either way from any spot on the field. So I mean, if I'm a GM, and I know there's a homer take, and we've talked about this, but I don't know what else you need to see. The only thing that is against him, again, you said 180, but the only thing that's against him is that he's 5'8". That's literally it. Everything else is first round grade. So
double check marks everywhere else.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Production, everything, every single thing that you wanted to see on film. But the production was there in big games, huge plays, doing the Signetti pose after the interception. Yeah. And then, he's just,
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Maybe we'll do a little bit of reminiscing after this. I keep forgetting we haven't spoke to Jamie like on the show and a couple like that, because we talked to Jamie a little bit, but that's funny. But yeah, no. So, but obviously Pons wasn't the only person to run, and so we got 40 times from a bunch of different guys. And the one that jumped out to me that I sent you guys the big list of, Colin McMahon had his unofficial 40 times, and That's take these with a grain of salt. They're probably within a couple of tenths of a second. Brad alluded to the fact that your stopwatches and your different scouts and who you talk to can have different times, but Elijah Surratt running 4.45 or even 4.5.
Huge. As long as you run sub 4.6, that's all we needed from him. All we needed was sub 4.6. That's all we needed.
What is that in your mind, Brad, as the receivers guy? What does that do to, or how does that, like, I guess, quell some doubts about Elijah Surratt? Because putting
not Jake Bobo's speed. By the way, a guy that just got paid by the Jaguars after running a 4.9 in the combine at his pro day. The fact that he's 0.3 of a second faster than that guy, who, and he has way more production in college. Like, it just bodes really well for Surratt, considering what he has on tape and the production that he's been able to provide, being like a career 3,500 receiving yard guy with 40 tuds. Like, that's a guy you just can't, like, miss on. Like, yeah, he maybe not as good. Like, once the pads are on, Surratt is a top 50 player in this draft. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, that is, for 2 years in Indiana where they went 27-2, third down, it's third and Elijah every time. Like, that's who we're looking at. Yeah, Becker got in the mix there a little bit for sure, but like, Elijah Surratt was our bread and butter, and really honestly, bailed out the offense when they were in a pinch, right? And that is so valuable to a team. And like, you have a guy like that in college, he's going to be able to find a job and keep a job in the NFL.
Well, I would say a couple things just about Surratt is that, like, again, like Brad mentioned, like, when you needed him most, who scored the only TD for IU in the Big Ten championship game? It was Surratt on the fade, and then he had that massive touchdown after Mendoza threw the pick six in the Oregon game. Like, they went right down the field, and he makes the third down back shoulder in the end zone. I don't remember which corner it was for Oregon, but both those guys are going to probably play in the NFL. And the other thing is that the production, he did it at 3 different levels. He did it at St. Francis, he did it at James Madison, he did it for the national champions. And then, if you watch any of the running that IU does outside of the tackles, Elijah Surratt is he's just moving people out of the way. Any corner, because of his size and athleticism, he's just got that innate ability. There's just some guys that, like, it's just one of those things that you have or you don't. It's not even a motor thing. He feels where the play is coming and what he needs to do, and he's always in perfect position to get his hands inside. And he just he blocks his rear off, and it's like, again, the quick twitch. He's not that guy, but he's got everything else. And today, like, with what did he run? He ran like almost like a 4.5. I think it was what it was unofficially. That just shows 4.45 is at least what Colin McMahon is reporting here. But yeah, essentially, like, if he really has that type of straight line speed, and maybe he cut a little bit of weight, if he can just continue to do what he did with the blocking and the back shoulder stuff, but then just, again, like you were saying before, the whole route tree, like, these guys just come out so polished. It's just, how could you not take him? I mean, I think we've had this debate before, at least in DMs or whatever. Like, I think you kind of shit on me, but I feel like he's like,
you as in me.
No, I was Brad. I think it was Brad. I was comparing him to Nick Westbrook-Akine in so far as that they're that type of, like, bigger wide receiver that excel at blocking and can make plays. I just think Surratt's better. And I mean, Nick Westbrook-Akine didn't even get drafted, and he's been on an NFL roster for like 7 years now. I mean, right? I mean, so if you told me that there's a better player than that, like, how is that guy not a top 3 or 4 round pick? I don't see how he couldn't be. So, he's another one, again, just a really good athlete that people slept on, and he showed today that he's got the speed, and I was really impressed with how he acquitted himself today in front of everybody. And I think that's going to show, I think he made money today. He made a lot of money today, like a lot of these kids did.
100%. Well, it's funny because
great for Elijah, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I was going to say, like, people look at Carnell Tate as like the end all be all, big receiver, like runs the route tree, athletic jump ball guy. Surratt's a better jump ball catcher. He's got better
definitely
production.
a better route runner.
He's a better route runner. He's ran just as fast, if not faster, in the 40. Like he's the prospect people think Carnell Tate is, and the production scores back that up. So it's like I don't know. I'm obviously, I feel like I have a lot of bias when it comes to Elijah Surratt, and it was me in the chat, Jamie, trying to tell you, like, if this kid runs even 4.6, that he could push into like the mid to high second round, and even in the back end of the first potentially, which, like, I'm not sure about that, but it's not hard to talk yourself into that guy, especially if you believe that 4.45 number. Holy shit. Like, that guy's a first round receiver. Like,
no, I agree.
Production plus the athlete, plus his ability to make contested catches and his reliability, and he's going to show up for work every day. Yeah, like, that dude is as surefire as it gets. If you don't want to spend the first round pick on him, maybe because of the age, I get it. But if he falls out of the second round, like, oh my goodness, that'd be insane.
Yeah, he also has this confidence and this leadership to him that I don't think he gets enough credit for. Like, he always walks around with the swagger, always talks with this sense of self and confidence, despite being a 2-star recruit. Like, he just knows that he's going to outwork you, type of kind of motion. Like, yeah, he is. I mean, there's a reason why he was a team captain on the national championship team. I'm trying not to, like, beat a dead horse, but, like, the best players play on the best teams. We can talk X's and O's all you want. Yes, definitely a differentiator. Like, the best players were in the CFP this past year. They're on some of these 12 teams that made it. If you want to just draft blindly, like, I would just take guys that were in the playoff. Like honestly,
I mean, you're
guys that ended the season in the top 20. You're probably going to do all right. Like,
well, I think as a Patriots fan, I mean, Bill Belichick literally, he would draft, like, half the team was drafted from Alabama. I mean, he just knew that these guys were coached correctly, that they were athletic, obviously, that they were on the best team. Those are the guys you go get. And, like, I mean, again, we're going to go over this and continue to go over it, but, like, every single team being there shows you that even the guys that are, like, you know, Kalen Black or any of these guys, he didn't even get an invite to the combine. Like, those guys are, you know, these teams want to see these guys because it's not just like, you know, they're just whatever players. They were on the best team. They got the best coaching, and, you know, they're athletes as well. So that, I mean, it's just, the smart thing to do is to get winning football players. And it's a cliche, and I hate football cliches because there's so many of them, but it's just like, yeah, that's what you do. If you know, what are the best blueprints? Recently, Bill Belichick's like the best one in the last, like, 20 years. So, like, that's what did he do? He went for the guys that were on those teams that won football games. And that's, you know, those are the guys you get, and those are the guys you win with.
Cole Strange is how you knew it was going downhill.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.